welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing the mom tag. All right, we're just gonna get started. So, how old was I when I had my first child? I was 17. I got pregnant when I was 16 and had her, I think, right before I turned 17. I had her like a couple months before I turned 17. I had her. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? For my first, it was throwing up nonstop, like all the time, the whole pregnancy. It wasn't like morning sickness. It was all day, every day from the time I found out I was pregnant until the very end. I think there was like 1 month that it let up, but it just came back. It was nonstop. I was throwing up. It was awful. I was miserable. Can you think of any good things, or can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? I really liked growing the bump. Like, I liked seeing how big my stomach got and like how big that she was getting, like just to see it grow. I don't know. I love my pregnant belly. I loved when she started kicking and feeling her kick, which I didn't start feeling her kick until I think of like 21 weeks, so it took a while, or like longer, because I think some people feel that sooner, but I didn't feel like 21 weeks. But I don't know, it was amazing feeling her move, and then just as she grew bigger, just they intensified. I don't know, it was pretty cool. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? Okay. A lot of things I think were pretty accurate for my first, because it was, well, no, I mean, the whole labor, no, because labor actually wasn't bad. I enjoyed my labor. I know that's weird, but I did. I loved that part in labor, and my pains weren't, like my contractions weren't that bad. Like, I could deal with that. I can't remember when I got my epidural, but what I was feeling, like, it wasn't bad. Like, I was feeling pretty intense ones, but it didn't bother me. I have a pretty high pain tolerance. So like, people always just told me like, it's awful, like you're gonna hate it, like you're in that moment you're gonna regret getting pregnant in the first place. Like, but I was happy and excited the whole time. The only thing, I was just like scared, but people told me that like I'll be scared, but I think that's apparent, like that's for everybody. And then like actually pushing, like giving birth, that was pretty much just what everybody said. They come out, I mean, everybody's is different though, so you can't really like, no one's is gonna be like 100% accurate or like the same as yours in any sense. Like, I told my friends who have had babies, I'm like, oh, this happened for me or my sister. I'm like, afterwards it was awful. Like, my pain was worse than labor. She gave birth, and afterwards hers was good. Like, she had no complaints. She was like, what in the world are you talking about? So everybody's just different, so you can't really listen to what people say. Like, it'll point you and like, or like give you an idea, but it's not, everybody's gonna be different. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? For my first, no. I mean, I was 16. I don't think there was any different that I could even, like, if I could redo it now, yeah, I'd be different just because I'm older and I know more. But then if I was like going back to when I was 16 and doing it, there's nothing I could have done differently. I was 16. I was scared. I didn't know what was like gonna happen, versus my other pregnancies, I already kind of pretty much knew what to expect for it. But there's nothing that, I don't know, I don't think I could have handled it any differently. Like, going back, and also, I mean, I didn't really freak out or anything during it. I was just like scared, but I didn't really show that, I don't think. At least no one told me I looked terrified, but I don't think I showed that. What would be your advice for someone who's about to have a baby? I'm really crap about giving advice. Ooh, I know, stock up on wipes. I know that. Get all the wipes you can, because you can use those. I still use them, and my youngest is 4. Regarding like the actual childbirth, I would just say just breathe. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, it's gonna hurt, or you get that epidural, you don't feel good. Like, just breathe and it's gonna be fine. Like, at the end of it, your child is gonna be here, so it's all worth it. Like, the amount of scared you probably are, or just like terrified of the pain or like what's to come or how well you're going to do. It's like once that baby is here, like all your worry, you worry the whole life, but just everything, it's all the pain you felt was worth it. And afterwards, and like your instincts are gonna kick in, and you're just gonna know what to do. I mean, yeah, some things you're like, I don't really like. Still now, I'm still calling my mama, asking her like what's going on, or if my kid is sick or has some weird rash, I'm calling my parents still, like, so that's fine. Like, you're not gonna know every single detail, but you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna know what to do. Like, you're gonna, in that moment, your instincts kick in. And I don't know, just if you're worrying about what kind of mother you're gonna be, don't. Like, you're gonna be great. If you're worrying about that, that means you're already gonna be great. What has been the hardest thing about being a mom? There's a few. Being a mom is hard. Like, y'all know, it's a hard job. It's not for the weak. Especially, I have 5. That's a lot. So for me, being a mom now is just having so many. That's what makes it hard, which one of them is my stepdaughter, so she's not here all the time. Hey, go. He's staring at me. Bye. But during the summer, she's here week on, week off, so it's just having 5 kids all together like that gets rough. They get rowdy. Taking them to and from places, that's a lot. But versus just, or having, like, if going back to when I just had my one, like, because I don't bring house 5 kids. I don't know, just the hardest thing, just in general, for whether you have multiple kids, just one kid, for me, it's keeping up with everything, and everybody knows me. Well, no, this is true. I'm awful about being late to places, keeping up with stuff, keeping up with all the doctor's appointments and school events and just everything, and just keeping them on a schedule, and just it's just rough. So it's, for me, like right now, that's the hardest thing, is just keeping up with everything. And people, like, there's things I need to step it up on. So, because, I mean, not everybody's perfect though, so that's just the hardest thing to me, is keeping up with everything that they have going on, and getting it all together, and just yeah. I'm looking at a laptop, by the way, so that's, I'm like, hold on over here. What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? For this one, it's probably just when you see like their progress in life, and them learning something, or if you've taught them something and they pick it up, and you see them learning from you or speaking from you. And right now, a big thing for our kids is teaching them about God, and he's our creator. Like, we look up to him, and he's who we praise. And our kids at this age, they're definitely learning, like, they're thanking God for everything. To see them, like, when they say something, like, one time my daughter, we were trying to hurry up and get home, and I was so terrified I was gonna run out of gas, and I was telling the kids, I was like, y'all pray. I was like, pray we don't run out of gas. I do not want to be stranded with 4 kids on the side of the road. And as soon as we made it home, I was like, we made it. And then my daughter was like, wow, God is good. So that, I don't know, that was like a rewarding moment, is that it's just like, that everything that we're trying to teach them is like, it's going through to them, and that they're learning. That's just, for me, that's what it is. And also just the loves and the cuddles, and when they just look at me and go, I love you, mama, the best mama, or just seeing how sweet they can be. But don't get me wrong, like, they can be bad too. But okay, what was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? That's a hard one, because there's a lot of things. I would say just how difficult it is. Like, it's not, like, before you have kids, you're like, it's not gonna be that bad. It's not as bad as everybody puts it out. Like, you probably just don't like motherhood or being a dad. Like, you just know. It's difficult. It's a lot. Like, some days you want to pull your hair out, you want to go lock yourself in the closet and not come out. I mean, you can't even eat a snack without them, like, as soon as they hear that bag open, they're running. You can't eat nothing without having to share it. You can't, there's no privacy. I can't even make these videos without them, you know, walking in and just trying to see what I'm doing, or just walking through, or I don't know. It's just, I'm surprised how much of your personal space you give up. I don't know. And just, I don't know, there's a lot of things. I could go on and on with stuff. What is the best memory you have involving your child? Okay. I don't know. I mean, there's 5 of them, so that'd be. Okay, so since it's gonna be regarding all 5 of them, because I'm not gonna go child by child, or like per child, because that could take all day. Would probably just be our trip to Gatlinburg, which wasn't even that long ago, but it was our first trip with all 5 of our kids. All in one, which my parents were also there, but that's probably like my favorite memory. Just be, what was the most exciting milestone? And I feel like it would probably be walking, which that's probably like one of the biggest for every mom, because they just can't wait for their child to start walking. It's either walking or when they first said mama, because that's, you know, the best word to hear in the world. Except for when they're saying it like 100 times over and over and over again, because then you want to change the name. But it was one of my favorite parts when they first said it. Okay, there's a few questions in here that I just don't really want. I don't really want to answer, because there's like 20 of them, but there's 2, which is worst thing a child's ever done. And then, what habit you wish they didn't have? I don't know. That's just something I just really want to talk about, and talk about all the bad things that my kids have done, which I don't mind. Like, people that know us know the bad things our kids have done. It's not that, I mean, every kid acts bad, but I don't want to sit here and go pinpoint everything that they have done. To me, that doesn't make me feel comfortable, unless it's like a family member telling them everything that they've done, or a friend, like a habit. Because I mean, the habits, they are the way that they are. So, I mean, yeah, there's some things that I wish that they would let up on, or I wish that they didn't have to deal with things that they do. But that's just, I don't know, I just don't answer that. What habit of theirs make you the most proud? Which, that one, I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to answer that, but I just want to say what makes me the most proud is how sweet and caring they are of others. Which, all right, do you share any similarities with your children, both physical and personality? All right, I'm gonna start with physical, which none of my kids look like me except for one, and that's Jacoby. He has my face, like all my features. Not really any of, I don't know if he has any features of his dad, like at least like on his face. All of our other kids look just like him. Not me. I don't think they have. I'm pretty sure their face, there's nothing of me on there. Which, hey, good for them, you know. But, so then personality-wise, oh, their dad would say personality-wise, their attitude and their talking back comes from me. Which I'm not gonna say that I agree to that. But, you know, who knows? And then also for one of my twins, Aiden, he has my like worriness kind of personality, where he worries about stuff a lot, and that comes from me because I do have anxiety, and I'm starting to see like traits of that in him. So something that I'm pretty sure he got from me. Even we've had a doctor kind of tell us that she believes he has anxiety. But so that's really the only things that I see that have come from me. And just, you know, how sweet they are, you know, because that came from me, you know, not the daddy. That's me, how sweet and loving they are. You know, that's what everybody says. Okay, not really, but, you know, I like to think so. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? Okay, 10 years, let's see. In 10 years, my oldest will be 17. Whew. Yeah, hopefully filling out college applications and striving to do her best in life. Which whatever path she takes, we're gonna support her. You know, like that, we're gonna support all of our children in the path that they take, but it's our job as their parents to push them in the right path so that they lead a good life. What is something that having a child has taught you? It's just taught me to slow down and enjoy little things, because it's all we're gonna have when we're old. We're all only gonna have memories, you know, and just the people that we create around us. It's like, I don't really know. We're just gonna have memories, so just try to make memories with them. And it's taught me to have patience, which I'm still gonna work on a little bit. You think after 7 years I don't have that now, Pat, but no, I don't think anybody does. But it's teaching me to like have more, which I kind of had patience beforehand. It's just teaching me to have more, because y'all know with kids, y'all need a lot of patience, especially when they're doing something and it's taking an hour. Like, I'm gonna be honest, which a lot of moms wouldn't, when they're telling that story or dream of theirs that is like 2 hours long and they drag that out. Yeah, that's when you gotta have patience, which I love their stories, don't get me wrong, like I love listening to them, but they take a lot of pauses and a lot of ums. Maybe that's something they get from me too. Okay, anyways. But they just, y'all know it takes them all day. Like, you love the stories, but you gotta have the patience to sit there and listen to the whole thing, okay? You feel me? Okay. Did you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age you became a mom? No. I don't think anybody at 16 imagines that they're gonna be a mom. You know, ideally it would be, you know, in your late 20s. So no, but of course I wasn't stupid. I knew the risk, so I'm not gonna say that I had no idea, like, oh my God, how did this happen? I was so surprised. Like, you know what's gonna happen. You know, all y'all knew, everybody knows. Like, you know how it happened, so it wasn't, you know, like something, like I didn't imagine it happening, but I knew how it happened. It happened. I wouldn't change it. Like, describe your child in a single sentence. Okay, I don't know if I'm really gonna do a single sentence on this one, but I'm just gonna blurt it out. Like, just what? Okay, Brooklyn, she's super sweet, mature, very caring, very smart. She's next one, Jacoby, Daredevil. He is sweet. He loves his mama, and a daredevil. He loves getting attention from acting bad. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. And then Aiden, super sensitive, extremely sweet, loves helping others a lot of time. Okay, Luca, hyper, adorable, sweet. All of my kids are sweet. I'm just gonna keep saying that. Like, they're all so sweet. He's one, I think, besides him and Jacoby are a mix on who's the most energetic. I think they're both kind of like on the same level. Luca, he's just very like, I don't know, there's just some, he's just because he's like my last baby. He's just like my baby. I don't know, but that even makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, he's just like my little baby. And then McKinley, because she's my daughter too. She may be my step, but she's my daughter. So with her, she's sweet, she's well behaved. Like, hardly ever have to get on to her. And okay, she's very loving. She loves to come up to us and just give us hugs and say, oh, I love you, da, 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 and just cuddle. I don't know, all of her kids are just extremely sweet. Not all of them showed at different points, you know, ones, but they're all, I don't know, I love my kids. How have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? I've been looking over here every time I answer, so it's like, okay. How have you changed? I don't know. This would be like a good question to ask somebody else, like how I've changed. Because for me, I don't know. I know I've matured up. I mean, I still have my moments. Just matured up. Like my mindset from when I was 16, of course, is totally different than it is now. You know, 16, you think you know it all. You think you know, you got this. Like, even before I got pregnant, like that's, you don't know how teenagers are. Y'all were one. And now I'm more so like, oh, okay. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just rolling with it. And I think it's becoming a mom, I've came out of my shell more, which I'm still working on that because as I said earlier, I do have extreme anxiety, which everybody that's met me can like agree on this. Before, like, I wouldn't speak to no one. I would just sit there like, but you know, when you have kids, you're talking nonstop. You're talking to doctors, talking to nurses, and also with my twins, I spent a month in the hospital. So that's multiple nurses and doctors coming every day, all day long. Like, so putting yourself out there and like speaking, it helps it. So now I'm better. I still have progress to make with my anxiety. But since becoming a mom, like it's gotten a lot better because you have no choice. You have to speak. You have to call. I'm a lot more paranoid than I used to be because I'm so terrified of something happening with my kids, with them here, which that goes along with anxiety. But I think every mom is like that. My friend who just had a baby, she was telling me, I can't remember her exact words, but she was telling me just how different she views the world, and just like you're literally, your heart is now outside of your body, and they're in the world. So now I worry a lot more. I view things differently. Everything's different. It's just, which I'm pretty sure most moms are like that now. Like once you become a mom, like your mindset changes. It happens. All right, so that's all the questions that I have. I did skip 2 of those, so there's supposed to be 20. Skip 2. But I probably will leave all of these in the description below, just because when I was looking up this, I kept trying to look up everybody's description, and I wanted to see it below so I could just get it from there and write down the questions. But not a lot of people were doing that, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be down there. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give it a big thumbs up.